So, okay,
But
so we are in good company with Tadek of Go Sweet Spot. So Go Sweet Spot are effectively, and we'll jump into the sort of category of business that it is, but effectively it's a consumer brand that interfaces between the consumer and the logistics businesses that are out there. And I wanted to chat with Tadek because what I think he is doing, particularly for small businesses, is quite something remarkable. But we'll get into all of that a bit later. But Tadek, for the viewers out there and for the listener, how are you? What's going on?
me, like I mentioned to you just before, the first few days we're all anticipating the month ahead, and it was a scary sort of place to be. Everything was upended. We were working from home, and what was a usual territory for me for the first 5 years of my business, I was actually working from home. So the next 5 years was in an office with 16 staff. So,
so it was
back
like
into
going back to your roots.
Going back to the roots, it wasn't so bad. But I was saying, like everyone was in the same boat for the first day or two. You know, when I was talking to customers, they were freaking out of the what is going to happen over the next 4 weeks, and it's been tough for a lot of business, a lot of people. But we're anticipating that. But now that we've banked 4 weeks, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And look, for a lot of our customers, it's been a tough time, especially the non-essential businesses where effectively they can't send anything.
Yeah.
You know, they could still communicate with their customers. They could still receive orders, but they couldn't send anything out.
Yeah. So effectively the transaction can't be fulfilled. It's sort of in limbo.
The transaction, that's right. But we had a number of customers that have really benefited from this. A lot of these liquor companies, fresh fruit and produce, any food companies could send. And for some of them, they were sending 3 times their usual turnover. So that was few and far between. So yeah, look, no, it's been like yourself. We've been at home. We've been enjoying the company of our immediate family. And it's actually a special moment in time, really, isn't it?
It is,
because we won't get to relive this, hopefully.
Well, if we do, we'll be more prepared. You know, at least from a consciousness standpoint. But Tadek, look, I know you. You know a bit about me, but for the people listening or watching out there at the moment, I feel like we just need to cover some ground first before we get into sort of talking businessy stuff. So who is Tadek and how did he come across and build this thing called Go Sweet Spot? So if we can start there, and you can wax lyrical as much as you want. Go for it.
Who is Tadek? So, God, it's actually been 10 years. We had our 10-year anniversary a month ago.
Hey, congratulations, man.
Of Go Sweet Spot. And, you know, it was sort of a real hiss and a raw knot. We've been stuck at home. No, so look, 10.5 years ago, a good friend of mine contacted me and said he had developed this freight management software, this Mark 1 version of the software. And he didn't have any customers. He just had this system. And he approached me and said, because if you want to pigeonhole me, I'm the sort of sales marketing guy in the business. So
you like the Steve Jobs and it's like Steve Wozniacki. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that. So Damon and Manal had developed this system, and we thought, look, instead of trying to sell software to businesses, how about we approach these courier and freight companies to see if they'll give us wholesale rates, and then we can be a reseller or agent for these businesses, and that will make a margin on the freight. And so we started doing that, and we picked up 1 or 2 customers, and they all said to me, this is incredible. The system's incredible. And I thought, jeepers, we've got 2 customers now. How do I get 200? Then I was prospecting, calling companies and whatnot. But that all started 10 years ago now. Now we have over 3,000 businesses, small to medium businesses around New Zealand that are benefiting from our system. So my background was in sales and marketing for a number of companies, but I always wanted to start my own business, but it's like you have to have a feasible product to do that.
That's right.
And 10 years down the track, we've now got 16, 17 of us in the team. And Yeah.
I must say, I mean, it's a great story because you share it in such a super chilled way. Like, yeah, 10.5 years ago, I did this thing, and now we've got all these people. But like, I'm sure it hasn't been like an easy road because you're effectively creating a new, uh, dare I say, category. Because before it was just the consumer and the freight companies, and so you sort of squeezed yourself in
Yeah.
in between. So talk
So,
to me about that and how that worked.
so with Go Sweet Spot, these small to medium businesses, they never had any buying power.
Yeah.
They also were restricted. If you had an account with a Fastway Couriers, you've only got one courier. Now with us, if you're sending parcels around the country or around the world, you have various options. So you may have a delivery that you need to be overnight. So you've got an option with New Zealand Couriers and Post Haste. You may need a 2-day service. You've got a Castle Parcels. For international, we've got a few options there. So you've got economy rates. You've got premium services for a faster delivery.
Yeah.
They needed a system which was integrated with their e-commerce shopping carts. And right from 10 years ago, we were integrated with Trade Me. So in the old days, people there's a lot of manual processes involved in capturing order
Yeah.
and putting that into a courier ticket. So we captured that with the integration and made life a lot easier. So all we do is save companies time and money, and we've done that for 10 years. And they get one bill from us. They get one bill from us at the end of month for whatever they use. We've got a customer services team. I know some people have struggled in the past ringing courier companies. It can take a while for them to answer the phone.
Amen.
We thrive on the fact that we've got that relationship with the customers, and we'll answer your call. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on with these 3,000 businesses. That's horses for courses. There's all sorts of benefits, and depending on their particular circumstance or their industry or their business model, our business benefits them in different ways.
Sure.
Yeah.
So look, on a personal standpoint, I've used Go Sweet Spot in 2 businesses. Now, the one was a chocolate company, and I must say it was seamless, just the way things operated. And more recently in this business now that I'm in, where we deal with products from other customers that we sort of photograph and sort of video and do all that good stuff. And it's just been it's too easy. And I can say that because I've worked with other sort of direct to freight company sort of models, and I won't mention their names, but one of them, you talk about being on the phone or dealing with like a customer service desk.
Yeah.
I used to ring them up, put on speaker, and just like let it roll and like do whatever I needed to do, in terms of business, because I would literally be on hold for sometimes, up to 40 minutes. So, I think from a consumer brand perspective, Go Sweet Spot has literally hit the sweet spot.
Yeah. Now, look, absolutely. I remember Kako. The thing is with the system, it's also that communication with your end customer.
Yeah.
A lot of these small to medium businesses were handwriting on boxes or putting prepaid tickets. Yeah. They were choosing addresses. The addresses could be wrong. Some people may put down a suburb, which is not actually a suburb.
Yes.
And a consequence of that is the parcel doesn't end up getting delivered for 3 or 4 or 5 days because the courier doesn't know where this address is.
Yeah.
With our system, it validates and will only give an accurate, physical address for a company. And once the driver turns up and scans that parcel, an email goes off to your customer saying, thanks very much for your order from Kako Chocolates. Your parcel's on its way, and here's a hyperlink with a track and trace. So there's all these sort of value add pieces to the business that have made life a lot easier for these customers of ours. So, and when somebody rings up and says, I can't find my parcel, well, you can see from the track and trace, within seconds, you click on that, it'll show you a signature. And it was signed for by Gary when,
whoever Gary is.
Whoever Gary is. Yeah.
So, I think you've definitely solved. I mean, it's a classic sort of today business approach where you've solved a problem, you know,
Yeah.
and people are responding to that by effectively giving you their business, and that's why you've got 3,000 plus customers on your books.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask a question about the name. So how did you come up, how did you come up with that? There's got to be a story to the Go Sweet Spot name.
Oh, look, I was at this is 10 years ago, and Damon was trying to think of a name for the business.
Yeah.
And he was saying, oh, let's call it optimize it, or
Yeah.
something to do with logistics or whatever it was. And I was at the gym.
Okay.
And I was watching, I think it was Wimbledon at the time, and Djokovic hitting the ball, and the commentator said, he's hit the ball in the sweet spot. And I went,
that's it.
Oh my gosh, we're all about optimization and hitting the perfect spot on that tennis racket. And we make life easier for companies, and we give them accurate information. We give them a good pricing. We give them linear pricing. So if a parcel's only 4.2 kilos, you pay for 4. You're not paying for 5 or for 10 kilos.
Yeah.
And we get the best out of the freight for them, the best out of the courier. Anyway, it goes, so sweet spot it was.
How difficult was it to convince your business partner of the name?
Oh, look, we wanted something that was memorable, and something where, because often you talk to companies and they'll name their business, and then you get confused, or you forget the name of it. Often you forget the name of a business, and you may get close when somebody said, "Oh, what's the name of the business that you were talking to?" And there's a blur of all these generic names.
Yep.
So no, they bought into it quite quickly, and
Fantastic.
it was well received from our earlier customers. Yeah.
So you must be a tennis player then, or at least an avid watcher.
Oh, look, I was until COVID kicked in, and then we're banned from. I was thinking tennis must be one of the safest sports to play from a distance. God,
absolutely.
It's not 2 meters away.
Yeah, it's more than that.
Touching of the ball.
Well, you just make sure you play with like some sort of hygienic wipes, you know.
Yeah, and you can't shake hands afterwards.
No,
afterwards.
but you can just do the nod, just feel like,
Yeah. I think the damage is done post-match when you're sitting around for a beer afterwards. That's the danger zone.
Yeah. So what's the favorite part of your game? The serve, the rally? Like what do you think? What's your strength?
Oh, well, the strength is not the serve. I'm not 6 foot. It helps if you're tall, but no, good rallies make the game exciting, and yeah.
Are you part of a club, or is it just something that
No, it's just with friends actually.
Okay.
So you sort of mix. There's 2 things there. You've got your exercise, or 3 things. You've got exercise, your competitiveness, and you've got your mateship and friendships and all that. So it's all in one.
And I'm sure there's a bit of banter that happens across
course. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
It's interesting because I've now interviewed 2 people who are avid tennis players. One of the previous interviewees that I did was a good mate of mine based in Aussie. His grandfather actually played at Wimbledon in the early 1990s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he was on that grass court. And he shared a story before Wimbledon became the competitive sort of competition that it is. Back then, it was polite to serve your first serve softly. So nowadays, it's like balls to the wall.
Oh, man.
Your opening serve.
No. No, they go for the jugular now. That's for sure.
Yeah. But out of tennis now, and sort of getting into where we currently find ourselves, and yes, we are going into sort of what in New Zealand we call level 3. Effectively, it's still a lockdown status. What are your thoughts about how people are viewing the importance of 2 things? One, having their business digitally present, and then also as an offshoot from that, the importance of being able to get product to them no matter whether they buy it, say in a physical store or through freight. Like what are your thoughts on what businesses ought to be considering now during this time?
Well, look, we've been inundated in the last week with businesses who are traditionally bricks and mortar,
Yeah.
and now everyone's been forced into this online world of no contact with their customers. The contact will be through their website and the experience on that website. And then next thing you know, 2 days later, a courier knocks on your door, leaves a parcel there.
Yeah.
So these businesses for the foreseeable future will be in this zone of having no contact. So a lot of companies need to up their game with regards to the e-commerce on their site, whether it's a Shopify or WooCommerce or BigCommerce or whatever it is. They need to be able to capture that information, have an accurate courier rate for their customers. That's the other thing. Some people send small objects, some send large, and they've got to be careful. If you're selling something for $100, it's not going to cost you $50 in freight to send that.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to be losing money on the deal. So they've got to be careful about that. They've got to be able to negotiate good rates. People are talking to us about those freight options I mentioned before, the economy service, the premium service, some people send stuff on pallets or need a bulk option. Don't forget, if you send anything that's larger than like 0.18 of a cubic, you can't put that on a courier, even if it's quite light. So you need to be able to have a heavy transport or transport provider in there. So we've got those options for people. So, but it looks like it's going to be this way for a while. And in many ways, even post-COVID, when this mess is all cleared up, these habits of shopping online, I'm sure will continue.
Absolutely.
There's a
Absolutely.
huge convenience.
Yeah,
there's a huge convenience.
But also think, Tadek, that I don't want to like say that this will happen again in our lifetime, because I don't want to jinx anything, but the likelihood of something like this happening again, I think might just come to pass. And so it's just another example of how businesses need to, at least in my opinion, look at ways to prepare themselves for these type of eventualities. And so I think you're 100% on the money, that we're probably going to go in and out of this way of being. And what it looks like, I don't know, but we can control how people get product through companies like yourself. In terms of innovation, like obviously you've built up this business, you've been doing this thing for 10.5 years now. Something like this happens. What do you see in terms of innovation or new things that could be coming down the track, if you're willing to and comfortable to share, of course? Like, do you see anything?
Yeah, well, look, from our point of view, our business and our customers customers, it's all about experience. It's about the Go Sweet Spot experience. And that experience I mentioned before about our customer services. When you ring a company and you've got somebody who's warm and empathetic, we've got customers that have been sending important items to their customers, and for some reason or other it hasn't arrived on time. And why is that? It may be because they're not home. And it's about providing correct information to customers. It's about that communication between our customers and the end user. And look, I believe the future will be things like having an app on your phone, because if you've ordered 4 or 5 or 7 items online, how do you manage what you should have received, what you have received? There may be cases where people have ordered something and forgotten all about it. Your husband's ordered some protein powder and it may not have arrived. And then 3 weeks later you go, oh my gosh, that never arrived. So I think if we can enable people to have that clear visibility of what they've ordered, when it's arriving, the sender being able to communicate with their end customer, it's that whole experience they'll have. And also things like where parcels should be delivered. Now, while everyone was in their offices and ordering items online, often a courier would turn up to their home address with a brand new tennis racket. And it wasn't an authority to leave. They needed a signature.
Yeah.
So they can't leave the tennis racket at their house. So the person who ordered the tennis racket at the time didn't think about that. And so the person arrives home, has a little card on their front doorstep saying, you know,
Collect
a
from
parcel
X
was it.
place. Yeah.
So then you've got to start the process of then contacting the courier, start again, or you've got to go collect it from the dairy down the road or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
I believe with improved communication with the end receiver that, hey, a parcel is about to be delivered to you, and you can communicate back to the courier saying, well, actually leave it in the dog kennel, or actually put it next door. My grandmother lives next door, or something like that, to ensure a clean delivery.
Yeah.
Innovation around options for international as well.
Yeah.
Really, New Zealand, with this whole COVID, there potentially is a good opportunity for exporting of parcels as well.
I think there must be something there, because New Zealand being an island nation, we can't expect to grow an economy just by keeping it insular. So it'd be interesting to see how we can ratchet that up. But I really like the app, the almost one app for all freights sort of.
Yeah, look, there's that, and there's freight forwarding. You know, quite often you'll have a parcel not where your home address is. It may need to pick up at another location. So with our Go Sweet Spot platform, you can actually pick up a parcel anywhere in the world and send to anywhere in the world. Okay, so you could be based in Hamilton, but you need a parcel picked up in Wellington, and then that parcel is from Wellington to Auckland. So you can do that from home with our system.
Fantastic. So
again, you have that visibility on the pricing, whereas the alternative to that is actually ringing up a courier company, explaining to the courier that you've got an address in Wellington.
Yes.
And then it's quite a rigmarole.
And the opportunities for error in that, I think, is also quite high as well.
Yeah.
In the system that you described, it sounds like it's pretty seamless. You know, collect from here, deliver to here, but you're based completely somewhere else, and that's okay.
And even returns of products. When you walk into a store and you try on a new pair of jeans, for example, you've got the benefit of actually trying the product on. And with online, you're taking a bit of a risk as to, will they fit me? Will they look good? Are they the right length, etc. So the whole returns of parcels is also important.
I see a lot of companies do offer like try it for like 90 days or 100 days and return it. It's become pretty standard practice from what I can see in a retail environment. Yeah.
So with the system, you can create a return label if you wish to. Customer prints it off, sellotapes it to a box, clicks a button, and the courier picks it up. So so depending on your business model, our business benefits you in different ways.
Yeah.
You know, apart from all this whole e-commerce world that we're talking about, we've got probably a third of our customers are importer distributors, wholesalers.
Oh, wow.
And with these distributors, they've got options of bulk carriers. You've got, as I mentioned, the different courier options there, the linear rates, and our system will optimize between courier and freight. So let's say you had 5 boxes to send from Auckland to Lower Hutt. Our system will tell you, the sender, if it's cheaper to put it on a pallet or send it on a bulk carrier or to send it by courier.
So it does the thinking for you. It does the thinking.
It does the thinking for you. Yeah. It does the thinking for you. So probably about a third of our customers are importing containers or pallets of stuff from overseas, and they need to send it
from Auckland to wherever it is.
A lot of our customers have sites located around the country. We've got a lot of retail chains that use Go Sweet Spot. We've got a lot of small businesses that may have 2 or 3 shops around the country. And again, our system gives them benefit to see what their stores are sending. Often people may order from one place, but it's not there, so it needs to be picked up from another location. They wanted a blue hat. Well, that company only has a red hat, but our other store has it, so it can be sent from the other store. So there's always possibilities with our system to make it work for your particular business. Yeah.
Well, look, I think Go Sweet Spot is the champion of effectively the small to medium-sized business in New Zealand, which I think we chatted on the phone a week ago, where we were sharing some numbers. And according to the Ministry of Business and Innovation in New Zealand, it's 97% of the New Zealand economy is SME, which accounts for 26% GDP. And I honestly believe that, you know, your brand stands for, you know, the SME. On the other side of that, I wanted to ask you a question. The freight companies, how important has the Go Sweet Spot business model become to them, in your opinion?
To our partners?
Yeah. So like, do they see you as a valuable partner, or is it just something that they tack on, you know, to?
Oh, look, no. Yeah. Look, for our partners, what we've done is we win business off their competitors.
Okay.
So the benefit to them is we've actually really locked in that customer, and the attrition rate for our customers is very low. The customers don't want to leave Go Sweet Spot, even if they've been frustrated with a particular courier driver. They know that we don't work with Fastway or PBT or Courier Post or Toll. And the system, the benefits of the system are so strong for many customers, they wouldn't leave. They wouldn't leave us because they're used to the benefits of all the things that our system offers their company.
Well, you've made it so easy. You know, it's and I think that ease of just using the platform is something that I think people aren't willing to relinquish. To be fair,
it's not so transactional. A lot of people think that freight and courier is just a commodity, it's just a transactional piece of business. If you were buying prepaid tickets and there was no extra value in the actual system, then companies would swap from one courier to the other. They got frustrated with one courier, they just moved to another courier, and they buy a whole bunch of prepaid tickets or use some rudimentary online system. So the platform itself to these businesses is the real value to these customers.
Something that you mentioned earlier that I wanted to double down on is you speak about the consumer experience when we were talking about innovation and stuff, and you used two words, and the words were warm and empathetic. Now, I do business a lot of the time based on feel. I'm one of those people, right? Like if a business and my experience with the business is one that makes me feel or puts me in a towards state, then you know, we can continue on. But if it's the opposite, the likelihood of me doing business with that organization again in future is probably quite a lot lower. What in your experience is the importance of having someone on the other line that is warm and empathetic when dealing with a customer? Because you had to arrive at that point based on experience yourself. So can you wax lyrical about that?
Look, I think the experience for them, like, with the end customer, don't forget, if the end customer hasn't received their shirt that they were going to wear at a wedding, that's a big deal for some people. And then obviously they're frustrated and they're ringing the seller of the product frustrated about something. Now, it's a double-edged sword now with the social media. Somebody can say a company is wonderful, absolutely wonderful, but on the flip side, they can write some terrible things that are out of business. And it's hard to defend that sometimes.
It is.
Because perception is reality.
That is true, yeah.
So when they ring the Go Sweet Spot and we answer and we're empathetic and we understand, we say, look, I will try and find out what we can do here. We'll get back to you in an hour. And you respond in an hour. Even with an update, well, that's something. And I don't think it's difficult to differentiate yourself with a lot of your competitors because there's a lot of mediocrity around the world. A lot of mediocrity.
Amen, brother. And so basically what you're saying is it's easy to do the next right thing. Sorry to quote a Frozen 2 song, but you do the next right thing and immediately you're head and shoulders above your competitor set.
Yeah. Yeah. So two things here. You've got your customers who they'll remember that. They'll remember that experience they've had with their account manager. Heck, I still get people ringing me. We've got customers have been with us for 10 years, and I'm available to talk to some of these customers. And again, you're differentiating yourself from your competitors. You create a great experience for them where you've troubleshooted an issue. You've given them options, because not just about problems, don't get me wrong, but people say, hey, I need to do this. I need to get a parcel picked up from New York, and I've got to get it from New York to Paris, right? And we can do that. And suddenly what could have been a 2-hour process for somebody to arrange that with couriers is done in 3.5 minutes. So again, that experience for them, they've freed up their time to focus on other things. Their customers' experience is good as well. So what this does is that over 10 years, we're now getting every day 20 or so businesses contacting us. And a lot of that's from referrals. I've heard about you. I've Googled you. My friends have been using you for 3 years. The industry uses you. You know, those verticals are using Go Sweet Spot. So that makes life easier for you in the fact that converting them over is not about the freight rate. It's not about what courier rates you can provide. It's about, I want to be part of that family. So
now you can't measure feeling or customer experience on a balance sheet, but the effects of the way that you operate your business can be felt financially. Is that a statement that you would agree with?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so, like, if you were to put a percentage to, say, your turnover, how much would you attribute to the customer experience component, to the various other components like the partners that you work with, as well as the system that you've developed? Like, how much importance?
Oh, look, it's from day one, we've worked with companies who have a good reputation. You know, we don't have to work with these courier companies. We've chosen to work with these courier companies for various reasons. And we've actually got amazing relationships with them. We've always paid we've always paid our bill on time.
Good.
We haven't stolen business off them. You know, all we're doing is creating new customers for them. Customers they never had before.
Exactly.
And we're also able to retain those customers for a long period of time. So so your question about the value, what was your question?
No, it was trying to attribute, because you can't measure customer experience on a balance sheet, but it was trying to, in a percentage term, and I know it's difficult and it's probably impossible to do, to measure what the impact of great customer service would have on the turnover in percentage terms to your business. So for example, if you had terrible customer service, like how much would that negatively impact in percentage terms your turnover?
Well, look, I think, the retention of a customer is paramount. People spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, more, tens of thousands, whatever it is, in actually acquiring a new customer. And bad businesses lose those customers so quickly, and they spend all this money trying to win a new customer on board to sign up someone new, because they've lost 4 customers who have gone elsewhere because they're frustrated, didn't see the value. Hey, I got a cheaper price somewhere else. And with our customers, yes, we have to be competitive on pricing. Absolutely, it's a part of the picture, but it's that value add where you guys have been amazing. We're sticking with you. I've just been quoted a cheaper price elsewhere. I'm not leaving.
So
it's about the relationship.
It's the relationship. It's the full package, and it's that experience. It's just, I loved what you said earlier about, most of the world operates within the band of mediocrity. And it's just super easy to do the right thing. The other thing that I just want to summarize what you've literally just said is a lot of businesses focus on the front end of the sales funnel, trying to win new, but they don't look after the businesses that they actually have. And
Yeah.
like there's wisdom in there,
Yeah.
trying to tend to your garden and make sure that you are looking after the people that you do have instead of focusing on people that you don't.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
other things we've done, like we used to have those plastic bags, the courier bags, the DLE
Yes.
A5, A4, A3,
Yeah.
A2 bags, and they were all plastic. And
Yeah.
we're the first courier provider to have a wholesale. All our courier bags now are compostable. Okay, we
Wow.
actually don't sell plastic bags anymore,
Okay.
and they do cost a little bit more.
They do.
People have to pay it. They cost us more and our customers. And we were a bit nervous at the start, that transition over from plastic to compostable.
Mm.
But everyone's buying these bags now, and a lot of us, they're buying these bags from Go Sweet Spot.
Yeah.
They aren't trying to find the cheaper plastic option somewhere else. So
Because I
and
think because there are a lot of businesses who use your product, and those businesses have customers. And I think the customer, if we just create a persona quickly, the customer who's more thoughtful nowadays, or at least is trying to be, wants to see that the business they support also supports the environment.
yeah,
And so the decision that you made to transition, I think, was a good one and is a good one, because it's something that, you know, I don't know if you've been watching, but there are all these reports of like the earth rejuvenating itself. And I think yesterday was Earth
yeah,
Day and stuff. And like, I think the consciousness, our collective consciousness, is not only consumers, but just humans, is welcoming, no, obviously within reason, but no matter the cost of what those bags are, because it's the right thing to do, you know?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so well done.
No, thanks. So the other thing was the whole reporting, the actual, because apart from all this experience, I mean, the experience is also the bill that you get at the end of the month.
Yes.
And if you had, I don't know, 3 or 4 accounts with different providers, you've got your for international, your bulk carrier, your domestic courier, the whole lot. You're getting bills from all around the country from different carriers every month,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to reconcile that. With our system, it's one report, one bill. Click of the button, you can see all your transactions. You can see exactly what it cost. Yeah, you've got some leverage there from a buying power, combining all into one spend with Go Sweet Spot at the end of the month. You've got one account manager. You've got an account manager that can go online with you, look at all your transactions, including international or bulk, as opposed to you having to talk to 3 different account managers. Yeah, that in itself is powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
As well.
Tadek, would it be fair to say that you've captured the market for this type of business?
What we've done is we've built reputations over 10 years, and we've got so many advocates now, which is wonderful.
It is.
Having advocates, because that's your best sales force in the world.
Yeah.
People believe your customers.
Well, it's third party endorsement, right? It's like it's better than PR. It's just like, yeah, I hear you, man, and I believe that you have advocates, many thousands.
And it's not just the fact that it's 10 years is not the be all and end all, because there's plenty of customers that are companies that are only 1 or 2 years old.
Yeah.
But if you've signed up a business and that business says, I use Go Sweet Spot and it works so well for our company, and they put that into a testimonial somewhere, or they're talking to their networks, when Michelle or Bob or Tom, whoever, contact us saying, I've just been talking to Fred and Fred's been using for 2 years and he wishes he had started using you 7 years ago, it makes our life a lot easier to sign them up as well.
Totally.
So the more advocates and testimonials you've got around, that's your best sales team in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I look,
and
I couldn't agree more.
So rewarding. It's so rewarding seeing businesses who, we've spoken to companies in their startups, and we sort of say, how many parcels do you envisage sending in the next 3 months? And they go, oh, maybe 40 a week or something, and then 2 years down the track, they're sending 400 parcels a week. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to share that with them and to say, well, we were there. I remember your nervousness 3 years ago, starting your own. So we get to talk to all these entrepreneurs, all these SMEs around the country, people that are risking it all. A lot of companies started off at home, just like we did.
Yeah.
And now that some of them have turned into medium-sized businesses.
So on that, and look, this might be the answer to the next question already, but what's been the highlights of your journey thus far?
Highlights. You should have given me this question beforehand. I could have. I got to. The highlights. What is a highlight? Look, when you start out, you have the highlights. There's so many highlights, but I think that we've got an amazing reputation in the market.
Yeah.
And as I said, there's so many average businesses around that some just survive. Some spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising just to get new customers in the door, but then they could be losing them.
Yeah.
We haven't. We've really been. We've got a sales team. We've got some salespeople, and we've got. We do a little bit of advertising, but the lion's share is inbound. I've heard so much about you. Please tell me more. How can you help my business?
So basically,
and all we do is we help.
The work that you do is advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when a company is focused on their core business, is selling more of their product, our core business is making sure they can quickly generate a label at the best possible price and send that order to their customer cleanly, effectively, and then move on with their business. That's what we do. We make life easier. We give them options. We allow them to carry on with their business and focus on their core business.
I would argue, without blowing smoke up your, you've turned what would ordinarily be a grudge purchase, in this case freight, into something that I think any business owner who ships out anything, something that they look forward to, because I think there's nothing better than someone who's doing a startup than getting an order and packing it up and sending it out, something that they've made, something that they've created. I know when Pippa, my partner, started using Go Sweet Spot, I've used you 3 times actually, so not twice. 3
okay.
She had a ceramics business, and we had this room where she had her potter's wheel, and we had 2 kilns and whatnot. And overnight she would get these pings that come through, and the joy on her face, and I would help pack up as well, just gently packing these things up, these little babies that she created, and sending it out. The freight piece, I think, is becoming something that people actually look forward to. And again, I say this without blowing smoke up, Go Sweet Spot, but I think it's true. You've turned a grudge purchase into something that people look forward to. They're sending off their goods into the blue yonder, to be enjoyed and appreciated by the customer.
Yeah.
Tadek, I've taken enough of your time, but I wanted to end off asking a couple more questions. A lot of people have been using this time to reflect on their lives, arguably, where they are, what they're doing, why they're doing it, with whom they're doing it, etc., etc. I think a lot of things in the forefront of people's minds is perhaps maybe economically how they can turn their hobby into something that is generates money. What would you say to someone who's perhaps sitting on the fence right now, thinking, shouldn't I do that thing? What would you say to that person right now?
Well, a lot of these small businesses have started off, it's all very part-time. They've got a salary job, and they've got their 9 to 5. And then you've got your 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, or your 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Depends if you've got kids or not as well, because don't forget, yeah.
That's true. Amen, brother.
And the one thing, like both of us, I've got three children, 14, 12, and 9.5. And this experience again of the whole COVID, we're all together as a family, and we're sharing this time together. And my 9.5-year-old daughter will never be 9.5 again.
That's true.
And
amen, brother.
So there's a balance between burning yourself out with your business and not knowing your family. So
because something else breaks, right? I mean, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get.
Anyway, I sidetrack. So a lot of these 9-to-5 salary people have a hobby that you talked about, and I thought, wow, is this scalable? What is my true cost in it? Is it actually costing me $100 to produce this item? Because if it's $100 to produce it, I need to sell it for at least $200, if not more. And the opportunity cost of focusing on your hobby and whilst leaving your salary is a tricky part. So a lot of people dabble in it, do it part-time, start picking up, a number of orders. And the question is, how scalable is it? So your question is like, what are they thinking? How am I going to make this into a feasible business where my 100% attention will be on this? Yeah, you have to. I mean, it has to be a good business model, and there really has to be a demand, or you have to create a demand for that product. I suppose.
So to make it more personal, 10.5 years ago, when you were in a sales role and you were presented this opportunity, what prompted you to take that leap? And
I did see the gap in the market. There was definitely a gap in the market. A gap in the market.
Yeah.
And you have to back yourself as well. And as I said, I signed up a handful of customers. We had 3 or 4 customers. And when their feedback was, this is amazing. This has changed my world. It's done what you said it would do. And this is our Mark 1 version of our system.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
This was 2010 internet, right?
Yeah. and so we were just, it was a desktop-based system back then. It's all cloud now.
Yeah.
And all the functionality with all the integrations that we've got now, we've got more carriers, we've got all that freight forwarding stuff, that's all there. It's a different beast now, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What was your question? What was your question?
Oh no, it was asking you like what made you make the leap, back then.
Oh, well, the leap was when I knew that there were 5 companies who were benefiting from this and said, this is fantastic. I knew there were thousands of other companies in New Zealand that could benefit from Go Sweet Spot. And on our website, we've got here, if you send 10 to 1,000 parcels a week, either domestically or internationally, you should be using Go Sweet Spot. And I just knew that we just needed to communicate with these companies. And once they started using the system, I knew they'd be advocates for us.
Yeah.
And you asked me before, what's the highlights? Well, the highlights are we've got happy customers. We really do have happy customers.
Yeah, I'd say that as well. Just from outside looking in. So,
can you imagine having a business with people who really didn't like you?
Well, you wouldn't have a business.
You're forever you're deleting yourself from social media. You're selling snake oil.
You wouldn't have a business. And just to double down on that, I think consumers now have become so savvy. We've been bombarded with advertising information for years now as a species, as a race, that when we see something, whether that be a short video or maybe it's some text or whatever type of advertising, we can smell if it's BS. We can smell if it's inauthentic. We can tell all of this stuff. And more and more, and this is why I love having conversations, sort of piercing the veil, to see the people and behind the brands, because it just elevates the fact that businesses are people at the end of the day, and the reason you're probably having a good experience is because they are good people doing good things, running the organization. So, Last question.
I've actually just one more thing. You talk about the highlights. Another thing is that when we started this business, we had no employees. There was just the 3 directors.
Yeah.
Now we've got a team, and it is very rewarding seeing your staff. Some of them have been with us for, like I said, we moved into an office 5 years ago. We've got staff that have been around for 5 years, and witnessing them realizing their potential.
Yeah.
Getting promotions, earning bonuses and commission and pay rises, and them starting to manage people as well. We've got team leaders in our company, so that's actually quite rewarding, being an employer.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah. Well, you're how do you say this? You become more than an employer. You become part of the community that you are. The very important part to the community that you're growing. And so, yeah, man, it's kudos to you and your team, and well done. The last thing I wanted to do is give you an opportunity, Tadek, to give yourself a shameless plug. I mean, obviously this conversation, we're talking good things about Go Sweet Spot anyway, but where can people find you and learn more about you and throw themselves into the Go Sweet Spot community?
Where can they find me?
Yeah. Or your business. Yeah, your business.
Well, look, if you're sending parcels, or you're planning to send parcels regularly around the country or anywhere in the world, go to gosweetspot.com, and there's a little link for tell us more, and we'll be in contact with you very shortly. I mean, so can you edit this? Because should I give my personal email address, or just email to info at?
Yeah, just email you at, that's.
I mean, on our website, there's a link, and that will come straight to our, well, to me. I actually see each one of those. Anyone who inquires on our website, I will actually personally see that.
Fantastic.
Link. So that's the best way to go to our website and click on the link, and we'll be in contact.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Tadek, I don't have any more questions. I think you've shared so much.
Have we just, because that's all, I mean, obviously, I didn't know what the questions were going to be. And have we covered enough? Have we covered enough?
I mean, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, look, we've covered all these things about. See, we work with established businesses, and we've got a lot of startups. And the startups are a little bit, what now? What now? How do I start selling internationally? We can give them some advice on that, but what we do is and you might want to put this, our business enables you to send overseas as well. You might want to, we put this on the record as well, this one here.
Yeah.
The number of companies who have traditionally been selling domestically are now positioning their websites to sell internationally.
Yeah.
Especially Australia is our first port of call. But they were before using Go Sweet Spot, they were grabbing their 4 parcels, taking them to the post office.
Yes.
Standing in a queue.
Yes.
Send the parcels off. And are you recording this?
Yeah. It's all recorded.
And now, by tapping into the Go Sweet Spot, they can choose Australia or Canada or France or wherever, and they can send their parcel anywhere in the world. Click a button, a label prints out, slap it on the parcel, click another button, and a courier driver turns up, picks it up, and takes it over. It's gone. And they know exactly how much it's going to cost. All the international, what do you call it? You better add all of this. The duties and taxes.
Yes.
Click there, you're declaring the value of the item and whatnot, and they're going to get a bill from a system if it's any duties they have to pay, the whole lot. It's very seamless. Very seamless.
I did not know that, so that's good information. That's good intel.
Yeah.
So basically,
so we're
listening, watching, their business is totally enabled through Go Sweet Spot to send parcels internationally and without having to go to the post office and wait in line. and
No.
and fill out those
Or set up.
triplicate forms. I remember filling out
Oh
those
yeah,
triplicate forms and having to
yeah,
sign, like physically sign for it and pay for it and whatnot. And they've got those
yeah,
little scales that they use. And
yeah. No, so we've removed all that, and even now, like importing. If you need to import, and you've got a 15-kilo box sitting in Australia somewhere, or Indonesia, or wherever it is, you can, through the Go Sweet Spot platform, you can get a price, you can create a ticket, and that will be emailed to your supplier in whatever country. They print that off, sellotape it to the box, and it gets picked up and then delivered to them in
fantastic.
Masterton or
Wherever.
Wellington or wherever they are.
Stewart Island.
So yeah, so it really is horses for courses, and the number of unique circumstances with the system, and like a packing slip that prints out as well, shows the customer what's on the product. The system does all that if you need it to do that.
Yeah, because sometimes internationally they do need to see that. They need to have line of sight of what's actually in the consignment, and then determine whether or not they need to inspect it or whatever the case might be. So yeah, dude, I did not know that. So that is good news, and that is definitely worth sharing. I might take snippets out of that and turn that into the trailer and push that on social media to let people know that you can actually do international parcels seamlessly with Go Sweet Spot. Tadek, I look from my side. I've covered everything. If there's anything on your side, feel free to wax lyrical. But I've covered what I guess I wanted to from a Shout and Coast.
You asked me at the start of tell us about Tadek. Have I shared enough of myself, or I went straight into business? I don't know.
I think that's the fact that it's been part of your life and ecosystem for 10 years, and the fact that you went straight into business, I think is good. It's telling. And I mean, unless you want to share a little bit of yourself right now.
No, I mean, God, I don't know. It's tricky. It's so hard. I mean, I like this family guy. I like my fitness. I like
and you like tennis. Yeah, you like tennis.
Well, no, I like surfing. I like swimming, touch rugby. Oh God, the list goes on. But yeah.
Oh, dude.
I take my business seriously, but I don't take myself too seriously.
Got you.
Yeah.
And that is healthy. That is healthy. But dude, yeah, man, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy, and all the best for the rest of this lockdown. Whatever it looks like, level 3, level 2, level 1, whatever. And hopefully we get together and have a coffee sometime at a cool cafe.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much for the chance to actually spend time with you and do this.
Yeah, dude. Great. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna stop recording now. So and